Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Al, and this week in Dragonflight we're getting even more additional class changes and we'll continue to see additional class tuning over the next few weeks. Currently, it's pretty easy to tell which classes are performing superb within the Season 3. There's a good chance you've noticed plenty of rogues, demon hunters, beastmaster hunters, and evokers running around in all forms of endgame content, but certain other playstyles haven't been given nearly enough time within the spotlight. Over the next few weeks, we're expecting to see a lot of fixes to help bring our classes a little bit closer together, buffing those that need it the most while possibly reducing the lead of a handful of dominating class specs. In today's video, I wanted to go over the very first set of changes arriving this week, but we could expect to see additional tuning over the next few weeks, especially during the early months of December. But right before we dive into this most recent set of class PvE and PvP tuning changes, most of you guys watching these update videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. But before we dive into any of these specific class changes, we first of all have a brand new blue post that gives us a little bit more context behind some of these most recent updates and gives us a little bit more information regarding future tuning that's arriving later in early December. At first, the focus will be to fix some of the more crucial, disruptive, or otherwise immediate problems that come up as soon as possible. Afterwards come in the more surgical changes in order to make sure every single playstyle is tuned more appropriately, where during the very first few weeks we're going to see a lot of changes. However, as the season gets further along, we will see less and less disruptions going forward. And right now, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Which class or spec do you think deserves to get maybe some sort of a buff going forward? Either a slight improvement or potentially even a rework going forward, like for the patch 10.2.5. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. The first set of weekly changes comes to the class of the Death Knight, with the Frost Death Knight's tier sets receiving a bit of an adjustment. First of all, their Season 2 tier set from the Raid of Aberrus is seeing a bit of a nerf this week, where the tier set bonus will provide less of an increase to the Froststrom's Fury damage. Effectiveness of your free Froststrom's Furies also are being reduced by roughly 5%, and the damage of Howling Blast empowered by the tier set further reduced by 10%. The purpose of these changes is to help reduce the reliance on the older tier set for Death Knights to pump out greater numbers within Mythic Plus dungeons, as some Death Knights started to game their tier sets by running a 2-piece from the old set and a 2-piece from the new set, combining them together for a more powerful combo. And just to make sure that their Emergency tier set is the strongest one yet, a couple more adjustments are coming its way with this weekly reset, as the talent of Chill Streak gains additional bounces, but also its chance to proc combat benefits is increased by 5 additional %. The talent of Chill Streak's base damage is also being buffed by 10% to make sure that it's guaranteed worth talenting into, with the damage of Obliterate further increased by 8%. Talents modifying Chill Streak, such as Enduring Chill, are going to increase the chance for it to bounce additional times by 25% instead of 20%, while the Piercing Chill is going to offer 12% additional damage to targets hit instead of 10%. Altogether, this set of changes should make the Chill Streak tier set and the Chill Streak playstyle the more favorable one for the Season 3, while also removing the requirements to gain parts of your older tier set in order to maximize your Death Knight's value. The next few classes are seeing very basic overall damage and healing increases, and while it won't be enough to shake up the meta entirely, it does help improve all of these classes' performance. Starting with the Restoration Druid, who's gaining 3% more healing. For a healer, Restoration Druids actually offer quite a bit of damage output, especially to some of their newest increases to the cat form base abilities, which allows them to easily take advantage of some of the hybrid gameplay benefits within dungeons and raids. However, their healing numbers are a little bit of a middle ground compared to every other playstyle. This buff to healing isn't game breaking, but does help them inch a little bit closer to some of the other healers. Shadow Priest is another DPS spec that found itself a little bit behind some of the other ranged DPS casters, so its damage is being increased by overall 5%. An update that's not necessarily game-changing or won't improve Shadow Priest's popularity by any measure, but it will make him a little bit more effective within PvE content. Finally, we have the class of Warlock, where both Affliction and Destruction are being buffed wholesale by 6%, This includes a buff to all of their spells and abilities, as well as towards their pet ability damage. Both the spec of Affliction and Destruction found themselves way behind, especially compared to their sister spec of Demonology. And I could see both of these playstyles receive additional changes over the next few weeks as they do additional tuning. Next, we have a whole new set of PvP changes, starting off with the class of Demon Hunter, with the spec of Havoc sees its chaotic disposition talent become less RNG focused within PvP. First of all, the talent itself will have a higher proc chance to proc additional chaotic damage, however the damage per proc is going to be much lower. This will create less variance and even less burst damage when it comes to using this talent, however the damage output of the Demon Hunter is going to focus on a bit more sustain. This means the Demon Hunters will be less spiky and less surprising within PvP, however this still will output quite a bit of overall pressure. Then we have the class of Druid with the Pharaoh's Healing of Regrowth buffed by roughly 20%. This is a nice personal survivability improvement since Pharaoh Druids are able to cast regrowths instantly whenever they spend their calm points into finishers. The class of Evoker sees the damage of their Azure Strikes for all three playstyles increase by 40%, making it a little bit more potent when you are unable to free cast some of your powerful damaging spells. The defensive PvP talent of Time Stop also receives a shorter cooldown, which is a nice defensive improvement, while the offensive talent of Chrono Loop will also have a 45-second cooldown as well, which is a fantastic utility buff for catching enemies at low targets and keeping them low, like a reverse version of the Mage's Alter Time ability. Augmentation Evoker's burstiness is being reduced just a little, with the damage of Upheaval reduced by 10%. However, the passive damage of their Eruption ability is going to be increased by 15%, allowing them to focus on continual gradual damage instead of their snappy short burst windows. And the Healing Preservation spec sees their Dreamflight talent ability increased by 100%, which might make this capstone actually worth using within PvP, since it allows you to immune crowd control effects similar to Deep Breath, which would also allow your party to recover their health more quickly every 2 minutes, making it a much more potent group heal ability. The mana regeneration reductions are also being reduced for preservation a little, allowing them to recover 5% additional mana, which overall results in a decent improvement for all healing evokers. Finally, the spec of Holy Priest is seeing all of their healing abilities further improved by 6%, which is a general increase within PvP combat. And that's going to be the full set of changes arriving as of this week to the live realms of Dragonflight. And over the next few weeks, we'll continue to cover any important class changes to make sure that all of you are kept in a loop with some of the buffs and nerfs going forward. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.